Hey gang, what's shaking? So we're talking about two literary elements. Both of them are really, really important, and you may even have heard of them before, but as we move through the rest of our year, they're going to become much more essential to our discussions. And they are dramatic irony, very different from our regular old literary irony, and motif. So you've already been given the notes for these. They're in today's asynchronous document. Just make sure that you're taking this stuff into account when you're answering today's discussion questions. So first, dramatic irony. So dramatic irony is when the audience is aware of something that the characters are not aware of. So we might know a relationship or a piece of information or about something that's happened, but characters are ignorant of this. And because of this understanding, okay, the words and actions of the characters take on a different meaning to us, the audience. Our information creates intense suspense or sometimes humor. It causes tension to develop because we're expecting something to happen. We know something's going to happen, but the characters have no clue. So some examples of this. If we're watching a scary movie, and I'm sure many of us have, we all know the scene when a character goes into a house that they think is empty. But we, the audience, knows that the killer is in there waiting for them. This is going to create our suspense and ramp up the tension even as we're yelling, "Get out of there, you idiot." In the film Frozen, the audience is aware that Elsa has powers that are very difficult for her to control. However, her sister Anna does not know about these powers and thinks of Elsa as just a cold person, standoffish. Now, this creates the effect of ramping up the tension between these two characters. We know that Anna's perception is false, and we just want to shake her and tell her the truth, but it creates much conflict within the piece. Finally, we can think about Hank Schrader in Breaking Bad. He is a DEA agent, and he is looking for the crystal meth producer Heisenberg. We, the audience, know that Heisenberg is Schrader's brother-in-law, Walter White, while Hank, for most of the series, until the very end, has no clue. This creates boatloads of suspense and tension that is just absolutely delicious to behold. Next, we have the concept of motif. A motif is a form of symbol. We know symbols represent ideas. The motifs, however, we see these symbols all over the place within a piece of literature or a film or whatever. They recur. They are recurring symbols. They're always going to represent concepts, though. So what does that mean if they represent concepts? Well, let's look at some motifs. Okay? The idea of mockingbirds and To Kill a Mockingbird. That is a recurring symbol. We see it throughout the novel. And they represent the concepts of innocence and selflessness, charity and giving. Or we have rabbits or furry animals in Of Mice and Men. Okay, these fuzzy creatures represent the stability and happiness, those concepts, that George and Lenny want so desperately to have. And the fact that Lenny often kills fuzzy creatures accidentally enhances the motif because it represents the fact that they will never be able to attain that stability. They destroy their own ability to have that happiness. All right, crew, take this knowledge and apply it to today's discussions questions. We will be getting into those tomorrow in class. See you then.